Hello, my name's Camden. I'm a sophomore studying computer science and Homeland Security with minors in real estate and psychology.
Hi, I'm Madison. I'm a senior and I'm majoring in Homeland Security and Communications with minors in Political Science and Cinema Studies. Today we're going to be talking about jobs you can get being a Homeland Security major, opportunities, things like that. So to start off, some possible careers using a Homeland Security major. There's two routes you can take. You can work for a federal agency or a private company. Some federal agencies include FEMA, the CIA, FBI, Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Customs and Border Protection, the DIA, things like that. But you also can work in the private side, and pretty much all companies nowadays, financial companies, law firms, entertainment, healthcare, computer companies, entertainment venues, all things like that. They also have security teams that include like investigations, physical security, corporate security, risk management, cybersecurity, security consulting. So yeah, there's a bunch of different routes you can take. And the difference between a federal company and a private company, benefits are a big difference. Federal companies usually have better benefits. Those include like healthcare, retirement plans, things like that. Salaries also, depending on the role, but sometimes those fluctuate. Job security, and also the work you're doing. Working for federal sector, you're doing more on the national security side of things, but private sectors could be more like asset protection, private security, corporate, that sort of thing. And networking within these majors, it's always important. The federal career fair that we have at Tulane is a great place to network and make connections with people in the field. Reaching out to people on LinkedIn also who either have a career that you're interested in or similar backgrounds to you. Usually people are very willing to help students, so that's a great way to get your foot in the door, and they can then tell you other companies to look at or opportunities they might have. And some internships that are definitely important to have. You can work, depends if you're interested in the federal side of things or private, but there's a bunch of different internships offered through all different federal agencies, so keep up with those on their websites. You usually have to apply to those about a little over a year in advance. LinkedIn is also a really helpful tool for finding internships. They have both federal and private. Also, if there's a company you might be interested in, just search up job opportunities, and a lot of times they actually do have security teams. And if you want to just explore different areas of Homeland Security, first thing to do, take all different classes. That's how I've learned about all different types. Talk to your professors. A lot of them are professionals in the field, so they're very willing to help you. Also, you can talk to people just in those fields through LinkedIn, career fairs. If you ever just run into someone, just talk to them about their experiences. And yeah.
Perfect. So as far as building a strong resume when you're applying to all of these jobs and internships, it's important that you want to maintain a good GPA for your major or your minor if your Homeland Security is your minor. Also show relative experience. If you're applying for a job with cybersecurity, tell them you've taken a cybersecurity course. You really just want to make things that have something to do with the job you're applying to. Highlight leadership skills. A big thing in Homeland Security is showing you're a leader, being able to step up when someone needs you, as well as certifications, trainings. I know in a few of my Homeland Security classes, we've done trainings as part of our class, so you already have that. Make sure you write that on your resume. On my resume, I write my scholarship amount that I get from Tulane, just because it's a good little thing to add on there sometimes. Some common mistakes that people will do when applying to these careers or preparing for them is not having practical experience, not having those internships, or not really networking, as well as overlooking those soft skills like leadership and responsibility. But also doing things like preparing for your lie detector test, preparing how to lie, how to tell a good lie can be really detrimental. It could end up hurting you in the end, or really just making it so you don't get that job. It is really important to have a mentor in this field. As she mentioned earlier, your teachers are going to be the first place you want to go to get these mentors. They know an extraordinarily amount of people, so if they might not necessarily have the best resources for you, they can direct you to someone that will. Apart from teachers, if you don't feel like you have any that you can go to, the diplomat in residence might also be able to direct you to some other people as they work for the state. So we actually have a lot of conferences, a lot of workshops that students can go to. We do a few pop-up events on campus. We've hosted the CIA and a bunch of other government agencies, but also just conferences like the FEMA Annual Emergency Management Higher Education Synopsis, also the National Homeland Security Conference in Louisiana, but also just nationally. All of these conferences welcome students. You might have to do some networking to try and get to them, and Tulane might not be able to provide financial or resources for that, but if you ask, it never hurts. So just a few things to focus on during your last year of college if you're preparing for jobs in Homeland Security. Focus on relative coursework. If you have extra classes that you need to take, maybe don't fill those with just easy classes that are fun. Take electives that focus to what you're applying to in your future. Also, having more certifications, you can do those online. Just search up emergency management certifications. Those will really just boost your application in the end and really make you stand out from other applicants. So as far as standing out in a competitive job market, tailor your resume to the job you're applying to. You might have 5 different resumes for 5 different jobs, and that's how it should be, because it should be relative experience to that job. Also, building a strong network with professionals before wanting to apply. If you're talking to someone with a company 9 months before you're applying, there's a chance you can talk to them when you apply saying, hey, I just sent my application, let me know if I need to add anything. Tulane has great networking resources, so we definitely recommend you take part in that. So